In the early morning hours of December 7th, 1941, while most of America slept peacefully in their beds, a young Marine named Harold Lumbert was about to witness history's most infamous sneak attack. But this isn't just another Pearl Harbor story. This is the story of a man whose face would become a mirror, reflecting both the brutal cost of war and the extraordinary power of human resilience. Harold wasn't supposed to be a hero. Born into an ordinary American family during the Great Depression, he was just another young man swept up in the tide of global conflict that was reshaping the world. When Japanese bombs began falling on Pearl Harbor that Sunday morning, Harold found himself thrust into chaos that would have broken lesser men. The screaming metal, the burning ships, the acrid smoke that turned day into night. These images would haunt him for decades. Yet somehow, in those moments of terror and confusion, Harold Lumbert discovered what he was truly made of. The attack lasted only hours, but its impact on Harold would span a lifetime. As bodies floated in oil-slicked waters and the USS Arizona burned like a funeral pyre, Harold made choices that saved lives. He pulled wounded sailors from wreckage, carried stretchers through smoke and flame, and kept fighting when everything around him suggested surrender. His face, captured in a photograph during those chaotic hours, showed not fear, but determination. The face of a fighter who refused to be broken by circumstances beyond his control. But Pearl Harbor was only the beginning of Harold's journey through hell. His war would take him across the Pacific, island by bloody island, each battle testing the limits of human endurance and the bonds of brotherhood forged in foxholes. Guadalcanal, Saipan, Iwo Jima, names that became synonymous with sacrifice and valor, places where young men aged decades in weeks. Through it all, Harold carried something precious, a photograph of the family he'd left behind and the dream of the life he would build if he survived the madness that had consumed the world. The face that emerged from the Pacific was different, weathered by sun and salt air, marked by experiences that couldn't be shared with those who hadn't walked through the same fire. Lines had appeared around his eyes, not from laughter, but from squinting into the smoke of battle. His hands bore scars that told stories he would never fully tell. But when Harold finally came home, something remarkable happened. Instead of remaining trapped by his past, he chose to build a future. He married his sweetheart Burnette, started a family, and began the delicate work of transforming from warrior to father, from survivor to builder of dreams. The photographs from this period show a different Harold. Tender hands cradling his newborn son, David. Patient eyes helping his daughters with homework. Protective arms guiding family walks through peaceful suburban neighborhoods. These images reveal the true victory of Harold's war. Not the battles he won, but the man he chose to become afterward. Here was a veteran who understood that the greatest honor he could give his fallen comrades was to live fully, love deeply, and create the kind of world they had died protecting. Yet tragedy would find the Lumbert family again. In 1953, Harold's young son, David, the boy whose birth had given him such hope after the darkness of war, died in a tragic accident, falling from a tree and fracturing his skull. The face of the fighter was tested once more, this time by a grief that no battlefield could have prepared him for. How do you survive losing the future you fought so hard to secure? But Harold endured, drawing on the same strength that had carried him through Pearl Harbor and beyond, finding ways to honor his son's memory while continuing to love and protect his remaining family. The photographs of Harold through the years tell a story that words cannot fully capture. We see him as a young Marine, eyes blazing with determination. We see him as a new father, cradling his infant son with hands that had known violence but chose tenderness.